But let's get into it, man. Our best bets on the week, whether player props, game lines, we were nearly perfect last week, and we've been all season long. Here is the proof in the pudding. On the year, I am 3-1 as far as player props because Wandale Robinson forgot that he was playing on Sunday Night Football against the Chiefs. Amir is your player prop king right now. He's 4-0 on the year, as last week we moved to 2 props a week. He cashed both of them. Now, for game lines, you're going to lean towards me. I'm 2-1. Amir's not too far behind, and he has plenty of time to get that in the right direction. But player prop number one, my favorite prop of the week, I actually don't know the exact line right now. It's Thursday. All lines have not been released for Sunday, but I will tell you this. This is a guy that has now been catapulted into the starting running back position in an offense that has a great matchup this week against a bottom 7 rush defense. TreVeyon Henderson, his line this year has been around 25 to 40 rushing yards per game. Now he hasn't been, I guess, the coaches haven't said that he's by far and away the lead back in this offense, but I think it's leaning towards that way because last week Ramondre Stevenson had 2 fumbles. The next possession, Antonio Gibson came in, he had a fumble. And over the last 3 drives of the New England game last week, here were the numbers. TreVeyon by far and away was getting the most snaps, carries, targets, routes run at the running back position. Point blank period, I think he's in for a big workload against a great matchup. And I think whether if it's 25 yards, 40 yards, I like TreVeyon over his rushing yards this week. And I guess we'll look back and say this was his breakout week. Amir, now you're going to another young guy, another rookie. And this is a guy that has done it all as far as special teams, offense, big plays. He's doing it all. Just get the ball in his hands, man. Who are you going after in this Thursday night matchup tonight?
So my favorite prop the entire week, I'm leaning towards another receiver on Thursday night primetime, and it's Torrey Horton. This is a guy who was like a fifth year in college, who was extremely productive at Colorado State, got drafted to Seattle, and he has been their gadget guy, return guy, deep threat, everything you could possibly imagine. Week one, I believe he had no receptions, but these past 2 weeks,
Yes.
he's had 4 receptions both weeks, including last year, where it was a 30-point blowout, and I think Darnold only threw the ball like 17 or 18 times, and he still cashed with ease. He had 4 targets, 3 receptions. I think this is a week against Arizona where it's going to be the same thing. It's going to be a close game all the way until the end. He should get the ball. He should get at least 4 to 5 targets this week, no problem.
Yeah, I mean, when you have gadget guys like that, they just try and get the ball in their hands. So this is a guy that, weirdly enough, has had exactly 32 receiving yards and a touchdown the last 2 weeks. But this is a guy, as a gadget guy, there's bubble screens, there's little jet touch passes, anything to get the ball in their hands is, well, good for our betting numbers and as far as our betting outlook. Now, my second prop on the week is Keenan Allen over 49 and a half receiving yards. The Giants are the worst defense against slot receivers this year, and for a team in the Giants who have a rookie quarterback starting, it can go one of 2 ways. Either it's going to be a complete blowout or Jackson Dart will put up a fight, and if I guess either way, he's either going to have turnovers on his end that gives the Chargers a lot of scoring opportunities. And I think Keenan Allen, he's covered this line in every game this season. Great matchup. He's in the slot over 50 yards. I think it's a pretty good lock. But Amir, it was spoiled. But here we go, man. What running back are you targeting here at the bottom for an anytime touchdown pick this week?
So, normally I hate doing the anytime touchdown parlays or picks in general as my favorite pick. But I just think this is a game where Buffalo scores like 40 points. I think this is a chance where he gets plenty of red zone touches, opportunities to really put points on the board. I just see this game. I can see Buffalo coming out and just scoring like 21 points in the first quarter and them just dominating
Yes.
the Saints. I mean, their defense is horrible. They can't stop the run. They can't stop the pass. I can see James Cook scoring multiple times again. Last year, he covered 74% of games. I believe it was like 14 out of 19 games total. Well, not 19. I'm tripping, but total. This year, he scored 4 touchdowns in 3 games. He scored in every game this year, and I think this is an opportunity where he's going to get plenty of red zone opportunities. Also, I love too for garbage time props. Ray Davis, I love him this week too.
We'll get back to the Thursday night long shot parlays in a moment. And I also got some extras I want to throw out there, and I'm sure you do as well. But let's go game lines really quick here. I'm going to just straight up say my game line on the week is the LA Rams money line at home against the Colts. The more time passes, the more money is coming in on Indianapolis, making this more so of a very profitable straight bet if you wanted to go that route. But Sean McVay at home, it's a bounce back spot, and he's 3-0 against Shane Steichen. And by the way, that's including his Carolina stop and the last 2 years in Indianapolis. Sean McVay has Shane Steichen's number, and he just has a better roster. I think they get it done. But Amir, you're going to Thursday, or you're going to Monday night, if I can talk correctly, and you're going with a quarterback and a team that is very successful against their opponent.
I'm going with the Dolphins money line. This is such a nasty game to bet on. This is gross. But both teams are on 3. The Dolphins have been progressively getting better despite them being garbage. Last week, the reason why the Jets were in the game, it was more so due to Tampa Bay having these injuries and them sort of adjusting, and also them kind of catching them in the bad spot, blocking the field goal, making the game way more dramatic than it was. And I mean, we watched Miami. I mean, the offense is never really the issue aside from the turnovers. But it's like, we forget it. This offense is still talented. Like they can still move the ball. Like they still got HA and Tyreek Hill, Waddle, Tua still can flip that switch every now and then. And I think this is the opportunity where Aaron Glenn's defense gets diced up by Tua. I think the Dolphins finally win. Both teams have not won yet. And so I'm taking the more veteran team and a team that's more polished.
Yeah, Tua is 5-0 in his career against the New York Jets, and that includes early on. He's technically 6-0, but I'm not going to count that first start because he had like 2 passing attempts. Tua has found success against the Jets, so I like that line. But now we're going to go back to the Thursday night plays. And Amir, you cashed this play last week on the show, so let's go 2 for 2. Let's do it yet again. You have a long shot for tonight's game between the Seattle Seahawks and the Arizona Cardinals.
Yeah, so this play right here. So last week I kept it to plus 200 because I thought it was going to be an absolute blowout. Which the game got a bit out of hand at times, but this matchup right here, I think, like I said, my best bet is Torrey Horton. I already explained why. I think this is a game where Darnold throws the ball just a bit more. Last week it was a complete blowout, and he still cashed with ease. Every quarterback has cashed his line so far against the Cardinals. Mac Jones threw for 280. Bryce Young threw for 330. Rattler threw for 215. And these are all subpar quarterbacks. So Darnold's better than all these guys. And, I just think Darnold throws the ball a bit more here. And also, too, Seattle, like I said earlier, on the road here, I think this is a big spot for their defense to really step up. I believe they're a lot of a better team than the Cardinals. The Cardinals have shown a lot of negatives these past couple of weeks. I mean, they go from blowing that lead, the Bryce Young and the Panthers and their defense getting absolutely tortured in that second half. And then this previous week, where against San Fran, where the game was literally in reach. Against Mac Jones, they completely just sell the game away. And so I think this is a game where Seattle goes on the road here and they win.